Yeah, all right, guys, fine. Thanks for confirming. So let us start with today's session. So I hope you're clear with what we have discussed in the previous session, right? So I think we started with HTML. What are the basics of HTML? And as a whole, we have also discussed about what is MERN stack, right? And what are the technologies which consist of MERN stack, and what like each technology is intended to do, because like you cannot develop a full web application while using one technology, so everything has its own. Just a minute, guys. Yeah. So it's going to have its own functionalities, right? So that is what we were discussing. So we'll just continue from where we have left. So we'll discuss few other tags with HTML, and we'll jump on to CSS and start applying styles to our HTML files. Okay, so that is what today's agenda is going to be. So any doubts you have, guys? Any doubts with respect to the previous session or any doubts in general? All right, guys, then it's fine. Okay, so we will start with today's session. So I hope we have discussed with the content tags, right? So we have discussed with headings, how to create paragraphs, how to create list tags and all, right? So in today's session, we'll discuss about some other multimedia tags. Okay, so basically I told you, right? So we have seen the text tags like headings. We have also discussed about paragraphs, right? And what else we have discussed? We have discussed about list, right? So let us go forward and see how to create other multimedia types like images, or you want to create links or something else. Okay, so let us start with that, right? So you can have your resources here, guys. Okay, I'll tell you like how to include your resources and all these things. Okay, so let us start with that. Now, the first thing, the first multimedia tag which we are going to discuss now, it's a link. Okay. So you know what is a link, right? What is a hyperlink, right? So you click on that link, it will be redirected. It will be redirecting you to another web page, right? So whatever we are creating, it's just a web page, right? So you want to link two web pages because all the contents you cannot write it in a single page. So you are going to link it to different parts of the other document, right? So we are going to do that linking through links. Okay. So first, the tag for creating a link is a tag, right? So we call it as an anchor tag, which is intended for creating your links. Okay, so within this a tag, what we are going to do is we are going to create the hypertext link name. Okay, let us say, for example, you are going to give click here. So when you click this icon, when you click this link, it should be redirecting you to some other resource, right? So that is what we are going to discuss. So I'll just refresh. See, is there any change with that link which we created? Is it actually looking like a link? It's not like a link, right? So we have to give that reference, then only it will start working like a link. Okay. So now we will discuss about attributes. Okay. So far, you just created the links, you created the tags directly, right? So you didn't give any additional information. You just gave the tag name and start creating. Now what we have to do is, we are going to link another file with this a tag. Okay, so for that you have to give an additional information to this a tag, right? So basically we are going to give a href attribute. Okay, so we call it as an attribute, right? So it's not a tag. Okay, it's not a tag, it's an attribute. An attribute gives an additional information to your tag. Okay, so href is the attribute name, and it is a pair. Okay, you have to give a key and a value, right? So I'm going to give the data here, right? So I have to give the linking value here. So let us put a hash, like someone has answered in the chat. Very good. So I'm just saving this and go back and refresh. So can you see, like now it is different. Now the color is different. And also when you hover on that element, it is going to give that hand symbol, right? So this tooltip symbol. So it means that it's a link. Now when I click it, it's still on the same page because we have given hash. Okay, so hash means it's going to redirect nowhere. It still it still stays on the same page. Right, now we have to link it to some other part, right? So what I'll do is I'll link it to some other HTTP reference. Okay, so what I'll do is I'm going to give a HTTP link here. Okay, so I'm just giving https://www.saygoogle.com. Right, just save this one, go back and refresh. So still you're getting this link here, right? So when I click this, see what's happening. It's redirecting me where? So it's linking to the google.com, right? So when you click that link, it's redirecting to a different web page, right? So for that, we can give a href attribute and given value. Okay, now my question is, what is this HTTP protocol? Let us say, for example, if I simply give www.google.com, see what happens. Go back and refresh. It's still a link, but when I click on this, it says that your file couldn't be accessed. It may be moved, edited, or deleted. File not found error. Right? This is the error we are getting because if you leave that HTTP, okay, if you leave that HTTP, it's a protocol. I told you already, it's a protocol what a web is translating, right? So from this, I'm giving a request. When I click that link, it is giving a request to google.com. So that google.com, the request, right? So you're giving that request through this HTTP protocol. So if you're missing this out, you're not going to get the result back. So only if you're giving HTTP protocol, it will work fine. Or else it will think this file is an internal file which is present in your folder, in your project, and it will start searching. Okay, so that is why don't ignore this HTTP or don't leave the protocol part. Okay, either you can use HTTP or you can use HTTPS, right? So this is one option you can have. The other option is you can also use href in another way. Let us say, for example, you have another file within your project. Okay, another web page which I am going to create in my project. So let me create a new project. Let us say I'm going to create services.html. Okay, and I'll just load the boilerplate and give some tag. Okay, I'll give some h5 and say that services offered. Okay, some data I'm going to have. Hypertext transfer protocol, can you explain? Yes, Imani. That will be discussed in detail when we go for backend, but generally what was happening with HTTP, I'll explain. Okay, let me complete this. I'll come back to your point. Right? So just a minute. Yeah. So the next thing, like this is a separate file, right? So your services.html is a separate file. Index.html is a separate file. Now you can link these two files together with the link as well. Okay, I'm just saving this one. And now instead of giving a HTTP request, right, I'm going to give services.html here. Okay, just the file name here. Okay, services.html. So save this and go back, refresh. Wait a minute. I didn't give any link here, right? See, this one is ain't created, right? So the first one was created. Click here was created. The second one is not yet created because we have to create a value here, right? So we have to give the text description what we want to have. Let us say I'm giving services. Okay, save this one and refresh. Now can you see like you have one link and the other link here. Now when I click on services, so which file is it opening? Is it opening in the same file? Is it still remaining in the same HTML file, or is it opening in another file? Services.html is open, right? So these are the two options you can have. Okay, so linking to a HTTP resource, or you can link it to the existing resource what you have under your project. Okay, this is one thing. And the other thing is, if you notice, whenever I'm clicking on the link and I'm opening it, right? Let us say I'm clicking on services, it's opening on the same tab. Can you see it's opening in the same tab? So in case if you want to open it in a new tab, right, we can give another attribute for your A tag, right? That is a target tag. Sorry, target attribute. Okay, so just give target equals underscore blank. Okay, underscore blank. Save this and go back and refresh. This is the previous file. Okay, so I have done it for the first link. Okay, that is for click here. Okay, so when I'm clicking on this link, now can you see the difference? It's opening google.com in which tab? It's opening in a new tab, or is it opening in the existing thing? It's opening in the new tab. But still, if I click on this services, it will be opening in the same tab because we didn't give that target attribute to the second link. All right. So previously, okay, whatever HTML version we are discussing, like the current version is actually your HTML5. Okay, it's HTML5. Before like HTML5, there were other options where you can open your links in new like blank page. Okay, like you have the options here, right? So you have new tab, new window, right? You can open it in the new window in the previous versions, but now it is not supported. Okay, so everything will be supporting only your new tab, right? It will not support new window, but still you can do it with JavaScript. Okay, guys, is it clear? I hope links are clear. And I'll come to this HTTP point now. Okay, see here, like when you're clicking the link, right? When I'm clicking the link, what is the source I have to load now? This resource is present in some server. Am I right? Google.com, like the application, whatever you see on the web browser, it's actually hosted in a server. Let us say it's present in a Google server, right? Now it is hosted there. Any website, any web application will be hosted in some server. Okay, then only you can access that through internet. Am I right? You're not having the implementation for google.com. You're not having the implementation for Gmail. You're not having the implementation for Facebook. It's already built. Okay, it has been made available in the server so that you can access that application through internet. So basically through internet, right? So if you're connected through the internet, you can give a request to this resource and access it. Now, if you want to access any resource in the web, okay, so when I say this is a web server, okay, how you're accessing it? You're accessing basically from the browser. Am I right? I'm accessing my resource from where? Even here, I give in my browser. What will you do? You give like anyhow, it is going to add HTTPS even though you don't type it. Even if you type www.google.com, it's going to add HTTP basically because that is the protocol. Okay, protocol is like there are set of rules. Okay, because just like that, you cannot go and raise a request to a server or you cannot communicate over the web, right? So there are predefined protocols, predefined rules, how you can get some resource which is already hosted in some web server or anywhere else in the web, right? So for that, for communicating, you have a HTTP protocol. So HTTP actually contains two parts. One is a request and one is a response. Okay, so whatever I am doing here, right, this particular thing, when I'm clicking this button, it's raising a HTTP request. It's raising a HTTP request, okay, through this request only, this www.google.com is there, right? So this is what we see as a domain name. Okay, so this is the textual name we see, but it will be having an address, an IP address. Okay, for that only they'll be giving you domain name. Say, for example, you're creating one project. You want to access it through internet, you have to host it. So when you're hosting, you'll give your source code. They'll allocate you an IP address. Okay, every time you cannot access your website or others cannot access your website with that IP address. Remembering numbers is very difficult, right? So for that easier convention, you'll be creating a domain name. Okay, just like google.com. Right. So let us say, for example, I'm creating one domain for Coding Chakra. So it will be codingchakra.com. And that extension will differ. Okay, .com, .us, .in, that will change. Okay, according to the application which you are hosting. So they'll give you the domain name. Okay, now when you want to access your website, when you want to see your website, you can just give that domain name and that can be accessed via your HTTP protocol only. Without this protocol, you cannot give any request to the server to get back your resource. Okay, so you have to give this HTTP. If you're using a HTTP link, okay, hypertext link in your href attribute. Okay, I hope it's clear. Someone asked with HTTP, I think it's Himani. Himani, is it clear? Yeah. All right, guys. So that's with your link. Okay, and one more thing I'll tell you. Now, I just want you to see what is the difference in output you have. Okay, let me go back to the home page. This is my home page, right? So is there any small difference you're finding between the other tags and the way how the link is shown to the output? Are you finding any difference? In the output, are you finding any difference in output? Like how your headings are rendered, how your paragraphs are rendered, and how your links are rendered? Is there any difference in the output? The way how it looks like? So what is the difference you're finding, guys? Any difference? See it carefully. Obviously, you will get it. It's very simple. If I tell you the answer, you'll say, think, yeah, it's that. Exactly, Nikita, right? So when you created all your headings and paragraphs, okay, everything is starting in a new line, right? It's everything is starting in a new line, right? Automatically. But nowhere I said that, see, you have to start in a new line. Heading 2 should start in a new line. Paragraphs should start in a new line. We didn't mention anything right over there. But when I created links, it's not creating this thing in the new line. It's still creating in one by one next to the other, right? So you have to be very clear with this, because when you're styling and you're using in CSS, that will be a different thing. Okay, so what is the thing is, we have two types of elements, like whatever HTML elements we are discussing, right? So we can classify these elements into two types. Okay, one is block level elements. We call it as block level. Okay, and one another is your inline elements. Okay, so what are block level elements is, block level elements will always start in a new line. So out of these tags, whatever we have discussed, can you tell what are the tags which will come under block level? What are the tags which will come under inline? Inline is just opposite to block level. Okay, it won't start in a new line. That's it. Okay, so yeah, link is inline. So link means a tag is inline, and all the other things like your headings, your paragraphs, and the list items are all block level elements, right? So we will also see few more tags. Okay, you can just see the output and just identify what are block level elements and what are inline elements. Okay, so we'll discuss one another block level elements which is used much, okay, in your applications, which are a div tag and a span tag. Okay, so let us discuss that. Now let us say, for example, I have my sections of document. Okay, let me remove these headings which is not required. Give me a moment. I'll just remove these headings. I'll just have this thing merge stack. Okay, and I'm going to create some links. Okay, initially I will be creating these two links in the top. Okay, let this not be google.com. Okay, let me just put hash. Here also I'll just put hash. And this target equals underscore blank, I'll remove. Okay, I'll just maintain, I'll just take this as home. Okay, and this I'll take it as services, right? And the other things, I'll just repeat my code, guys, because I want a lengthy web page. I want to organize my content. So I'll just put it down here. I'm repeating the content. Okay, just save this. Now it will look something like this, right? So you have a heading you have some links and you have a content. Right now, what desired behavior I want is whenever I'm clicking on my home, this part is already displayed, right? So it should remain here. When I click on services, it should go to some other part of the same document, right? It is not going to load a different page or a different HTML file. Okay, it's going to navigate within the same document, within the same HTML file which you have created. Okay, so for that, what you can do is you can put all the content inside some containers. Okay, so container means together, okay, you can call that, okay, this is one container, this is another container. So when you click on home, it should move to container 1. When I click on services, it should move to container 2, something like that. Okay, so what I'll do is, I'll just copy my code because I want much more lengthy one. Okay, so something like this, right? So you're scrolling and looking at it, right? So instead of scrolling and looking at it, when I click on services, let us say it should go to here. Okay, I will give a heading right over there. So here I'll just give a heading. Okay, I'll just put it as services. Save this. Go back and refresh. So you have something like this, right? So MERN-stack, you have services. Now when I click on services, automatically it should show. It should come below, like it should come to bottom of my document and show these services. Right? So this is what we want, right? Now, let us see how to do it. So you have to wrap everything inside your container. Okay, now from here, okay, that is from my, like this paragraph, okay, up to whatever is there before my services, I'm going to enclose everything inside one container. It is a div container. Okay, it's not going to have any content. Okay, it's not going to have any content. Just you're placing all these content inside one container. Okay, so it's called as a div tag or a division tag, right? So just put it down here and save it. Okay, now this part, okay, I think from line number 4 or 5, from line number 9 up to line number 36, it's one block. Okay, so when I click on home, that part should be shown. But when I click on services, the other part should be shown. So I'm also enclosing the services inside another div. Okay. Now, how many divisions we have created, guys? We have created 2 divisions, right? So now let us see when I'm clicking on that, how to reach these divisions. Okay. So now I should tell that, see, when you click on this, you should go to that division, right? So you have to give some name to the divisions. You have to uniquely identify these divisions, right? So this is different and that is different, right? So you have to uniquely identify. See, when I click on home, it should be moving to this division. When I'm clicking on services, it should move to the other division, right? So that you are going to use an attribute called as ID. Okay, equals, you can give some name. Okay, let me say this is home. I'm giving ID equals home. And the second division's ID, let me give it as services. Okay, so here I'll give ID equals services. Save this one. Okay, now here I have just used hash, right? So we know that hash will remain on the same page. Okay, and what is the other applicability of hashes? You can also give an ID name preceded by a hash. So give hash and the ID name where you want to navigate to. So I'm giving href equals hash home. And here I'm giving href equals hash services. So this is what the ID which we have created, right? Did we give service or services? Okay, I have given services only. Right, now if I save it, Maruf, okay, Maruf, I'll just slow down a bit, no issues. Yeah, sure. I'll do it once again for you, but I'll try to explain what I have done. Okay, because only if you see the output, you'll get to know what we are trying to achieve. Okay, so for that, I'll show you again. I'll come back and explain you the things. Okay, no worries. So just observe the output, guys. When I'm clicking on home, see, it's showing only the container. And similarly, when I click on services, it's automatically scrolling and coming to that particular container. Did you see that? Yes. So we can achieve that using your href itself. Okay, so you can create your web application in a single page and you can navigate within the same page. So that is how all the modern websites are created. If you see any modern website, not Amazon, Flipkart, it will be opening different files. The architecture is different. But if you want to create a very simple file, okay, so if you just, I'm just showing you one website. Okay, so you can see like all the content will be created in a single page only, and it will be navigated within the same page. Okay, so you can create a single page application if you want. If you don't want to write some other file and link it, you can link it within the same page, right? So I'll just explain you once again what I have done. See, normally what are the use cases of href? We have seen two use cases, right? So one use case is you can link to a HTTP reference. You can link to a website which is already existing. Let us say, for example, you want to give the Facebook, you want to give your Facebook handle, or you want to give your LinkedIn profile. You can also create that, right? So href equals, you can put your LinkedIn profile here. So HTTPS, I can give linked in .com, okay, and the slash whatever user ID you have, you will have your URL, right? So you can give that too, right? And here you can give LinkedIn profile. So this is a HTTP link, right? So this is present already in website. It's some other web application. Okay, done. So you can link to that resource. Or what is the other case? I told you, you can write another HTML file, right? Just like services.html, you can link that to that also, right? So instead of doing that, if you want to link within your own file, within the same web page, okay, you can divide your contents as separate divisions. Okay, that will be done by a div tag. Okay, so let us say I have these contents, right? So if you see, I have just repeated the code. Okay, I just repeated the code. I didn't write anything new. So you can enclose all the content inside a div tag. Okay, it is div div tag. So if you can see, I have just placed all my content inside this division. And similarly, services is there now. So that also I have enclosed it in one div tag. Okay, now you have to say when I click on a particular link, right? Say when I'm clicking on home or when I'm clicking on services, right? So it should show only that division. Okay, like it should navigate automatically. It should scroll and go to that part automatically. Okay, so for that, what you have to do is you're going to give the ID. ID is an attribute. I'm giving it on a div tag. I have just given home, and similarly for services, I have given as ID services. So here, just in the href, instead of giving your HTTPS or giving another file as an input, you can give hash. Hash means for ID, and give that ID name. So if I give hash home, it means that when I click on home, the container for home alone will be shown. When I click on services, the container for services alone will be shown. Okay, so just save this one. Now if you see the output, refresh. Right. So when I click on home, see the output carefully. I'll just zoom in a bit. So when I click on home, can you see? Only this division is shown. Okay, this is coming because the content is not sufficient. For this big screen, okay, the content is not sufficient. So that is why services is coming. Right. But when I click on services, see, the previous container won't be shown. Whatever is there with services is shown. All right. Is it fine now? So you can link with your existing content. Okay, you can navigate within the same page. So for that, you can divide your contents using your div tag. Right? Maruf, is it fine? Or you have some doubts, you can clarify it.
Guys, please be interactive. This is an interactive session, okay? You don't have to let the trainer keep on going on the topics. You interact, you can ask your questions by unmute. There is a button to unmute, okay? So don't use the chat window. Chat window is for someone who doesn't have a working mic. So if you have a working mic, if you have a no background noise, then you can unmute and ask your question. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So that's with your links, guys. Okay, so 3 different ways we have seen, right? So you can link to some web application which is existing, you can link to your another file, another HTML file, right? And you can link it within the same document, okay, using your div tag. Okay, now I have a small question for you all. Now you have scrolled down and come to the bottom of your page. Now, if I want to reach to top again, how can we do it? Because it's scrolling down. If it is a very length web page, you will be scrolling and reaching the bottom. Again, you have to reach the top. In some websites, you would have seen back to top option, right? So when you click on back to top, it will take you slowly to the top of your document. So how can we achieve that? The same thing, okay? Nothing is new here. We are going to use the existing thing, whatever we have discussed. So just think on how to do it. You got my requirement right. If you didn't understand the question, you can please let me know. Okay, I can repeat the question again. So I'll just repeat it once again. Like I want to have a link here because you're scrolling to the bottom of your page. Okay, I'm clicking on this. I have reached the bottom of my page, but somehow you have to reach the top. Like let us say you have 5 sections. You have reached the bottommost thing of your web page. Again, the user has to scroll up and scroll up to reach the top of the document. Okay, that won't be much user friendly, right? So you have to give an option to the user to move to the other part of your document, right? So what we can do for that? They simply by assigning IDs at the top and at the bottom. Yes, exactly. Right. So if you want to move to the top, again, like whatever navbar we have created, right? So like let us say navigation. So these are the place where we have all the links, right? So what I can do, I can wrap it in this inside my div tag. And I can give an ID here. Okay, let us say it's top. Okay, now I'll create a link at the bottom. After this services, okay, so I'm going to create a link, a href equals. Now, what value I should give to this href? What value I should give to this href? Now, when I click this back to top, it should reach that navigation bar. Like it should reach the place where we have all the links. So how to do that? Can I give hash top? So that is what we have created here, right? Yes. So just go back again, refresh your output. Okay, let me say I'm going to click on services. Okay, now you can see a link for back to top option, right? Now when I click on back to top, it's again coming to that navbar. Okay, or if you think you also want to show that heading, you can put that heading also inside your div tag so that it will be well and good, I guess, right? So save this, refresh. Just a minute. Yeah. So I'm clicking on services. So again, click on back to top. You're getting the top of your application. Is it all clear, guys? How to work with your links? Is it all clear? Yeah. So let us move to the next thing. Okay, so the next thing what we would be discussing is your image tag. Okay, so what is an image tag? Like image is another multimedia type we have, right? So just like your link or text, right? So you also have images, or you can embed your audio or video as well, right? So let us see how to embed your image, right? So for that, what you can do is you can do it in 2 ways. Okay, so let us say I'll create another div, okay, for gallery. Okay, so let us say the ID equals gallery. Save this. Okay, I'll create one link for gallery. Okay, within this, we are going to create some images. Okay, so we can do it both ways. Okay, let us say, let's have some image. Yeah, using image tag, you can do it. Let us say you have this like Google logo or something. Okay, let me just take this logo. Okay, you can right click on the image, take the image address. Okay, copy image address, keep this value. I'll tell you where to include it. Okay, so first thing, for creating your images, you have to use an img tag. Okay, so img tag, and you have to give the source. Maruf, any doubts you have? Which one, Maruf? Which thing you didn't understand? Image tag. I just started with it. Okay, I didn't tell anything. See, you want to put some image to your website. Okay, all the other things, whatever we have discussed, everything is a text, right? So text is one media type. Similarly, image is one media type, right? So link is one media type. Okay, so for including image, the tag is just img. Okay, I have created a separate div. Okay, because I'll have all my images inside one division. Okay, I created a div with an ID gallery. Okay, and I have created a link for accessing it. Okay, so when I click on the gallery, it will be displaying some images. Okay, it will be coming to this div and show some image. So creating your image, the tag is just img. Okay, it's not omg, it's img, right? So now we have to give an information telling that, see, this is the image I want to include, just like how we have given href. Okay, but here the attribute is not href, it's src. Okay, src for source. Okay, so just give src equals double quotes. Every time in the attributes, okay, attribute name equals, you have to give the value in double quotes. Okay, so I'm just giving that HTTP link, which okay, it's very big actually, but let it be. Okay, like this one, anyhow, I'm just going to remove this. Okay, just save this one because the URL is very big. Okay, go back and refresh just to show you the image is like embedded here. Right, so you don't need to worry why the link is very big. Anyhow, we will be using our own images also. Okay, so one option is you can paste that images URL, right? You can go to any image, you can right click. Okay, just take this copy image address and you can give that image address here. Just like your in href, we have seen HTTPS link, right? We had given that. So the same way you can do it. Okay, so you can give that HTTP link here. It will be very big. Okay, and if you refresh, you can see that image right down here. Okay, so when I click on gallery, right? When I click on gallery, it will just show me like what are the images I have. So this is one option for your IMG, guys. Is it clear? What is IMG tag and what is SRC? And one more thing, if you notice, is there any closing tag for your IMG? Just like the other tags? Because you will get many questions like this when you go for interviews. Like they will ask you what are closing tags, what are self-closing tags. Okay, so IMG tag is not having any separate closing tag. We call it a self-closing tag. So it means that you don't need to close it explicitly, right? So most of the other things, whatever we have discussed, everything is in tag, opening tag, closing tag. But few tags will be there without a closing tag, right? So you have an IMG SRC, right? So sorry, you're just having IMG and you're not having any closing tag. Pradeep, if we want image at center, now you should tell me, can I center an image only with HTML? Because I have already clearly distinguished what can be done using HTML, what can be done using CSS. So alignment, there are few properties, okay? I don't say that there are few tags, okay, which will also style, but we won't use it in our application because you don't confuse anything with its functionality, because HTML is intended to do only the structure. CSS is intended to do your alignment and all the like look and feel of your application. So generally, like there are tags like center. Okay, I'll show you one thing. That's a good question actually. So see here, let us say I have this heading now, right? I have a tag called as center. I think it will be deprecated. See, it's in red. Can you see it? I'll just save this one. Okay, go back to your application, refresh. So the text is moved to center. Okay, it's aligning. It's working fine. Am I right? But you can do it two ways, Uday. But what will happen is like what generally as a programming practice, it's not a rule, but what is a programming practice is keep your style separately, keep your structure separately. Let us say you are working on the HTML file. Okay. Sometimes let us say the client is coming to you and he's telling, no, I want the text to be in center. Okay. I want the heading to be in center, right? But later the requirement might change, right? He might ask in a different alignment. So at that time, you should not go and touch our HTML file. So if you're doing it in CSS, only CSS file, you can update it and push it to the production, right? So don't touch your HTML with style, okay? But there are options for it, but don't prefer that, okay? It's actually deprecated. It might be removed in future. So don't use any styling tags in your HTML. There are many styling tags. Like you can also create, like this paragraph is normal text only, right? So if you want it to be bold, also you can give. There is a tag called as B. Okay, I'm just putting a B tag around this P tag. Save this. Refresh. Can you see the difference between this paragraph and this paragraph? Right, you can see both the like paragraphs, there is some change, right? Now you can use this B tag, but it's styling. We can do it with CSS. There are properties for it. Okay, don't mix up your style and structure as of now. Okay, yeah. Yes, Uday, exactly. You also prefer CSS. Everyone should prefer CSS, right? So, or else when the requirement is changing, it will be difficult for the developer, right? So, Maruf, my image is.
May I know how to hyperlink?
Navya, I think your voice is breaking. Can you please repeat it again?
May I know how to hyperlink images?
Hyperlink?
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
Navya, you're audible. I just heard up to hyperlink, like I didn't get the rest of your question.
Ma'am, my image is not so. Only for denoting symbol.
Okay. Did you give the link correctly, Maruf?
Hello, ma'am. Am I audible now?
Yes, Navya, you're audible.
Yeah. May I know how to hyperlink images, ma'am?
Hyperlink images. Yeah, sure. So like the same thing. Okay, like that's a good question. Maruf, I'll come to your issue again. Okay, I'll tell you what are the things you have to check.
Okay, ma'am.
You just check it, you will get it. Okay, let us see this question. It's a good question. Sometimes you will also see some images which are working like links, right? So when you click on image, it will redirect you to some other page, right? So you can just enclose your image tag within the link tag. Okay, so let us say you're creating an image src equals, okay, I'll take the same thing. Okay, it's very long, guys. I know, but please adjust. Okay, now this image is there, right? This image should work like link, means you're just going to wrap this img tag with your a tag. Okay, so I'll just create an a tag outside this. Okay, so this is a, right? So a. Just save this one. Wait a minute. I'll remove this, guys. I will include it with my file. You will get it fine. Okay, it's very long. I'll do one thing. Okay, I'll create a separate folder for my images. I'll download it and put it there because it's very difficult to see that link. Okay, for both of us. Okay, so what I'll do is first we'll download some image and have it in our folder. I'll tell you how to link that images to your HTML, and later we'll see how to convert it to a link. Okay, so we'll do that. Now come back. I'll download some images. The same thing I can download. You can download it to your folder. Okay, so I think I had created with desktop. Okay, in this Mon Bootcamp, inside images folder, I'm going to have that file. Okay, so I'll just put it as Google image. Okay, you can choose whatever format you want. Okay, but make sure the extension is right. Okay, so now refresh this, this will go off. Now you can see in the folder, you will have that image, right? Just a minute, I'll just check the extension, that is very important. It should be a JPEG. I'll just rename this file and the extension. How to give more gap between word and word. I'll show that to Pradeep. Okay, I'll complete this, link to my file and show you that too. Okay. So yeah, right here, just give img src equals. Now I am linking to a file which is present in my system. Okay, so just give that path. So we have created inside the folder images, right? So just give images slash whatever image you want. Okay, just save this one and go back and refresh. You can still see the same image. Okay, so you can download the resource in one folder and you can include it. If the HTTP link is very long, okay, very big, so you can download it and use it. Okay, this is one thing. And the second thing, what she has asked, I think Navya was asking, right? So I'm just going to put an A tag, right? So just give, I'm just wrapping my IMG tag inside my A tag, okay? So this is like the content. So we'll give click here or services, right? It's like the content. Here in href, you can give Google. Okay, so you can give href equals https://www.google.com. So this is your link, because when you click that image, it should go to google.com. So you have to give href. Okay, so just in the place of content, you give your IMG tag. Okay, save this one and you go back, refresh. Now you can see when I keep my cursor on my image, it's a link, right? So when you click on that image, it's moving to that link, right? I hope it's clear. So that is one question. And the second one, how to add space between two words. So we have a property called as NBSP. So that is non-blank space, right? So say for example, here I want a space, right? You can just give ampersand NBSP. So how many spaces you want, you have to repeat that. Okay, so you can give ampersand NBSP, save it. Ampersand NBSP semicolon. Okay, don't leave that semicolon as well. So just go back and refresh. Can you see? It's creating two small spaces here. So that is for your spaces, right? Navya, is it like, is your doubt sorted?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So what is the full form of NBSP? NBSP is non-blank space. Okay, it's a space, right? So it's already defined with that HTML. Okay, so you don't need to you don't need to implement anything for that. If you just give ampersand, okay, it's like a variable they have created. Okay, so you have to give this ampersand NBSP and the semicolon, it will create space. And if you want to create horizontal lines also, you can do. Like let us say I want it after every section, you can just put a HR tag. Okay, so I'm just placing an HR tag. Now you can see there is a horizontal line after a section. So wherever you want, you can just put it down. Is it clear, guys? Like how do you link your images to your web application? Is that clear?
Ma'am, why are you not my image so in my output?
Maruf, like just check whether your HTTP link is correct. Like how did you do it? You went to Google, took some image and you copied the link. Am I right?
Okay, ma'am. Down. Just download कर लीजिए.
like you have copied this link now, this copy image address, give that correctly inside your SRC. SRC equals in double quotes you have to give.
Yes, ma'am. Same.
Same as image link to website. Can we use Word and link website? Word, I'm not getting Pradeep. Like Word means from Word you are asking. From Word document. Word means text inside some like some headings or paragraphs. You're asking that? Like let us say, for example, here you have some like words. You want to make that as a link. Yeah, you again, you have to wrap that inside the A tag. Say, for example, I have this minima, right? Let us say you want to link it to some website. So what you can do, you're going to write a A tag here. Okay, give that minima within this A tag, right? And you can give your href here. Href equals, you can give to some HTTP link. So the same thing I'm giving, google.com. Right, now just save this and go back, refresh. Like, can you see now minimas in hypertext? So this is just the content, right? So if you just place it within your A tag, between the content, you will get that. Maruf, did you figure out what is the issue? Did you give it right? The link is correct?
Yes, ma'am. I will sure.
Yeah. It's working or not?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Just a moment. I can check whether if screen sharing is available for the participants. Let me check. Sagar, will it be possible to let the participants to share their screen and solve their doubts?
I would suggest you take this at the end of your schedule.
Yes, Sagar, sure.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, Marav, just save your doubt. Okay, we will like, because you have to share your screen and we have to sort it out. Let us do it post the session. Okay, the last 5 or 10 minutes.
So
Okay,
guys,
ma'am.
the last 30 minutes of this session, feel free to clear all your doubts. Okay. So keep all your doubts for the last 30 minutes and you can share your screen as well.
Yeah. So I think only the small mistake with that link, only it will be the thing. We can sort it out. That is not a problem. Okay. Let
Okay, ma'am.
us.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yes, Marav. All right, guys. So these are some basic tags which you have in HTML. Okay. So you can also get to know what there are a lot of tags which are there. Like you can embed your, let us say you want to embed your YouTube link, YouTube video link. Okay. I'll just navigate to YouTube for a while. Okay, let us say I want to link my YouTube video. Okay, say this is your YouTube video. You can also link your YouTube videos to your HTML. Okay, so what you just do is we have something called as a iframe tag. Okay, so iframe will embed some external resource to your website. Okay, so you can just give share. Okay, and when you give share, the first option is there, right? So this is your embed link. You will get the tag everything. Okay, all these settings will be automatically given by YouTube. So you can just copy this and you can also select whichever option you want. If you want to start the video at particular seconds, let us say I want to start at 1 minute only, you can select that option, right? And check this show player controls and just give copy, right? And just place it wherever you want. Okay, now let us say I am going to do it after my gallery. Right, I'm just placing that tag here. So you can see iframe tag is there. Okay, you have specified the height. Height is an attribute for specifying for the height of your video. And what is the SRC? The YouTube link and some title and all the other options. Okay, I'll tell you about the options. Just save this. Go to your web page and refresh. Now you can, like, few videos won't be embedded because of these settings. Okay, privacy settings. Okay, maybe we had disabled it. Embedding is disabled by the by the publisher. It won't be available. Maybe you can try this with some other video which is open source. Okay, let us say you're going to have some other video, right? Maybe it has legacy issues. I don't want to open it, but it will work fine, guys. Okay, we have disabled it, so embedding is not possible here. But you can work out with some other video where you don't have that that privacy issue, right? So if you can embed and see if it's some other video, it will work fine. Okay. Is it clear, guys? Like, how do you embed your YouTube video? Just use that iframe tag. Okay, now when you're using with your iframe, you can also set your height of the frame. Okay, so let us say here it's 315, right? So say, for example, I'm giving 500. Save this and come back. It's somewhat bigger, right? So the height is somewhat bigger, right? So you can give that in your height attribute. Okay, and similarly, you can also do it for images as well, guys. You can also adjust your images height and width in your img tag also. But I again told you, right? It's again with some sort of styling, right? You're trying to style it. So you can better skip it. But if you want to fix it, okay, you're doing a fixed size, you're not going to change it in near future, you can give it on your HTML. Okay, so you can also do it with image. Let me show you that. So I'll just give height equals some value. I'll tell you what value to give, and width equals some value. Okay, I'll give a value here. Before that, I should see the dimension. Okay, so if you see the properties, you will also get the dimension. And see the dimension here. You have this 225 into 225. Right, so this dimension is nothing but your width cross height. Okay, so you can adjust this dimension if you want it much bigger, or you want to do it smaller, you can do it. So it's actually 225, right? So I'll just give 225 px. Okay, so px is the unit for image. For videos, you don't need to give that unit. Okay, because like every image, any like media types will be represented by px, pixels, right? The image quality, right? So the unit you can give it in px, or there are some other units. Okay, we will be discussing that in CSS, right? So height is equals 225 px. Here also I'm giving 225 px. Save this and come back and refresh it. You still say it's not changed, right? It's the same thing. It's not changing much. So you can adjust and see this. Say, for example, I'm just reducing it to half. Let me say I'm doing it as 120, and let this be 120 px as well. Save this one. Go back and refresh. Now, can you see it's somewhat smaller? Right? So you can use px as a unit, or also you can use percentages. I'll discuss about units when we go for CSS. When to use percentages, when to use px, we'll be discussing that in CSS. Is it clear, guys? Like what is this attribute height and width for image? Any doubts with this? Guys, am I clear? Is there any doubts with your iframe and your attributes we have discussed? All right, Nikita. Right. All right, Pradeep. So these are some basic HTML tags we have. Okay. Please repeat iframe tag. So iframe tags are used for embedding some external sources into your HTML. Okay. Like if you have this share, I think it's there also in Spotify. Okay, you can, I'll just go to Spotify. I'm not sure. Let me just check it. I think it's asking for login. I don't have an account. I don't want to sign in. And also, guys, like if you go for Spotify, okay, choose one song. Okay, you have the share option, right? So in the share, you will get an embed link. It's not only for video. You can also embed your audio files. Okay, wherever you have the share option, you check whether you have an option for embed. So if there is embed, you can embed that to your application. So simply let us say, for example, I'll just search for some email, some Google thing. Okay, Google's videos. Yeah, I think we'll try with this. You can also use with Google Map, exactly. Right? Yeah, Nikita, you can also use with Google Map. The option is there. So if I just give share, okay, just give this embed option, okay, and copy this embed code. Okay, don't need to type anything. We are not typing anything. These options are provided by that YouTube or Spotify or your Google Maps. Okay, the attributes are decided by theirs. Okay, what is enabled, what is disabled. So I'm just deleting this one. Just put this one, save this, go back to your application, refresh. Now, can you see this video is playing? Okay, because the publisher, like the embed, they will be disabling most of the time because of the privacy issues, right? So you can embed your YouTube links or your Spotify audios to your web application as well. If this iframe option is there, that is embed option is there, you can embed, or else you cannot. Okay, that is one thing. And you can adjust the width and height of your video as well. See, you can also give width. Okay, let us say I want a smaller version of video. I can just give 260. Let the height be the same one. Save this and go back and refresh. You can see that it's a bit smaller. So these are the attributes for this iframe tag. Okay, width and height, these are attributes. Okay, and similarly SRC will be the HTTP link because this video source will be loaded from HTTP link. Okay, basically whatever you get in URL. Okay, the same thing, but there will be one change for embedding link. Okay, you'll be having the option for embed. Okay. Uday, which you want me to repeat? Which part? Like which attribute you want me to repeat? Embedding video. See, it's very simple, guys. You can embed anything into your web application, especially with your media types. Okay, like your audios, videos. You can embed it to your website. Even you can embed your Google Maps. Like if you want to pin your location, you can go to Google Maps and check it. See, I'll show you the option. Okay, you can just later you can embed with your application. Let us say, for example, I'm going to choose some place. Okay, I'm just clicking on that place. Okay, you have the option share, right? So just give share. So can you see here embed a map, the option? So they'll be giving you the iframe tag directly. The options, everything will be generated here. You can also choose the option. So if you want a smaller embedding link, you can copy this HTML and you can put it to your application to tag your place. Okay, so I'll show you these two versions of iframe. See, save this. I'll just go back. Okay, now can you see like you have like the map and the audio, video which is embedded from external resource. Okay, you are not giving any source. You're not having the source with you. You're not giving the options, right? It's coming from some other web application. Okay, so that is why we use an iframe tag. Okay, but it's again decided by that application. Okay, the application developer, if they are giving the option to embed, you will find it, or else you won't find it. I cannot say that you can embed everything inside here. Okay, let us say there is some other video streaming application. Maybe let us say you have Netflix. Netflix is not giving an option to embed to your website. Okay, so it's dependent on the application developer. Not for all the application you will get it. Okay, just click on the share option. If you have that embed link, it means that they are giving you, or else it's not available. That's it. Okay, and also with YouTube, right? So whoever is publishing, they can choose whether they can embed that or not. Okay, so that is also again decided. Not all the YouTube videos can be embedded to your website. Maybe if you have a channel, you give the access right, you can embed it to your web application. Okay, so just click on the share option. If you get that embed link, well and good. If not, it's not available. Right? Is it clear, guys? I think Spotify is also having that. You can also try with the Spotify application for embedding your audios. Okay. So, and now you can see your iframe tags. How is it, guys? Is it inline or is it a block level element? How about your iframe tags? It's inline, right? And let me do it with image as well. Okay, I'm going to give 2 images, the same image I'm having. Okay, so 1, 2, twice. Say this. See how is your image? Image is also inline. Okay, so these multimedia tags are basically it's inline, right? So any doubts with these HTML tags, guys? I think this is enough. We have to move to CSS if this is clear. Sometimes we use inline block. So how it works? Yes, Uday, we will see that when we are changing the properties. Okay, when it comes to CSS properties, we'll be changing the display from block to inline or inline block, right? So it's all about you have these models, right? So you have box model, you have flex, you have grid, right? So in grid and flex, you have the option to change your elements as inline block. I'll tell you when we go for CSS. Just save this question for CSS. We'll send. We'll see that there. Send code file, ma'am. Vikash. Okay, let me just think on how I can share your code. Whether I can post it in Git or I can share a drive link for you. Let me discuss with the team and I'll share you the resource. Sachin, how to create a table. Okay, yeah, we will create a table. So it's very simple, guys. So if you want to create a table, okay, the tag is table. Please understand this. It's somewhat you are going to use many tags inside one, like nesting. Okay, so please observe this. The tag is table. Okay, the tag is table. So what are tag tables basically, guys? It contains rows and columns, right? So when you want to create your rows and columns, the same structure you have to form here, right? So there are 3 divisions in your table. Okay, it's not again compulsion. You have to give all these 3 divisions, but it will be good if you are using it. Okay, so the 3 divisions are, one is the head. Okay, I'm writing everything inside my table. Okay, so one is the body and another one is the foot. Okay, so these are the divisions inside your table. Okay, now you're going to create rows. Within that rows, you're going to create your columns, right? So for creating that, anywhere you're creating a row, okay, you're going to give a TR tag. Okay, TR tag is for creating your table row. Okay, it's TR. I'm creating it within my head. Okay, head part of my document. Okay, now we have to create the columns within this. Okay, so columns is the actual data. Okay, for creating the columns, it's going to be TD or you can use TH if I'm using it inside THead. Okay, I'll show you. Don't worry, I'm just giving TD. Okay, I'm just giving name. Okay, I'm giving a data. The other places you didn't give any data. Okay, so I'm just giving a name. Similarly, I'll create another column for let us say email. Okay, I'll give another thing, let us say for contact. Right? Just save this one and look at your output. It won't look like table, sadly. Can you see the down bottom thing, like 3 things are one after the other? It is actually a table, but you have to style it so that it will look more like a table. But I'll tell you one attribute. Using that attribute, you can give that borders, but don't use it when you do it in your project. Okay. So there is an attribute called as border. I'll just give equals. I'll give one number. Okay. I'll just give 1. Save this and refresh. Can you see this? In the bottom, it's creating a table, right? So for creating, this is one row, right? This is one row. And whatever content you want, you have to create it with TD. Is it clear? Up to this, is it clear? Now, because it's a heading, right? Heading should be distinguished with your content. So generally inside your T head, okay, the content, whatever you create, don't use TD, you can use TH. Okay, I'll show you the difference. You can apply the rest of the things. Save this, go back and refresh. Can you spot any difference between the first heading and the others? The first one is in bold, the other ones are in the normal font, right? For the normal style. So if you are creating for the heading, T head, you can create everything inside a TH. Don't use TD so that you can clearly distinguish what are headings and what are your contents. So I'm just changing everything as TH. And now you can create your contents within this, guys. Okay, you can create it within your T body. So the same thing. Okay, every time you have to create a row. Within that row, you have to create the data. So I'm going to create TR, and the data you can create it with TD. Okay, so let us say I'm going to give John. Okay, and I'm going to give an email. Let us say again TD. I'm giving john@gmail.com. And I'm giving a TD. And let us say I'm giving a contact number XXX. The same way, if you want to create another row, just create another row after this. Okay, maybe this can be Peter. This can be YYY. Save this. Refresh. Now can you see? Like the one, this is one row, the other row. And T-foot also you can create. Like if you want to combine all the data, like how many users are there, you want to put some additional information below, you can create that. Okay, is it clear how to create a table? Yeah. So I'll just stop here and take your doubts, guys. In case you tried out something, you didn't get something as a result. I think Maruf had a query. So let us try solving that. And if you have any doubts with today's session, you can have a discussion on the same. Okay, so I'm just stopping my, for both Peter and John has same email ID.
Show me on TD table.
Yes, Maruf?
Then show me on TD, T body.
Yeah.
Boards.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, ma'am. Just a minute.
Yeah. I got another question. That's a good question. For both Peter and John has same email ID. How can we do? You want to combine the cells. That is what you're asking, right? So you want to combine the cells. You have properties for that, guys. Okay, we have call span and row span. Using that, you can combine your cells. Okay, I'll discuss that. Let me just show you call span and row span. Okay, and we'll go for its doubt. We'll just sort it out. What is that image tag? Okay, I'll tell you about nested tables. Okay, because we have to again write a separate example for that. Uday, if time permits today, I'll show you nested table today, or we'll do it in the tomorrow session. Okay, I'll just show with your row span and call span today. The nested tables, let us see how the time goes. If it's fine, I'll do it today, or let us save it for tomorrow, right? Maruf, just let me know once it's done.
Ma'am.
So, meanwhile, can I tell you about row span and call span? I'll give you the score of T-body in your chat, Maruf. Okay, you can also refer from there. Only for T-body I'm giving. Okay, just listen this alone, guys. Okay, we'll just stop it here. Okay, alone, this one alone. Sometimes like you can have, maybe this possibility is very less. Maybe the name is same. Okay, let us say there are two persons with the same name, but the email ID and phone number is different. Let us say this person is also John. Okay, now you don't need to create separate fields for John and John again. You can merge these two cells and have as one. Okay, so what type of merge it is? Is it a row merge or is it a column merge? Is it a row merge or is it a column merge? Like these
In
are
row
two
merge.
rows, right? Yeah. So it's a row merge, right? So we have a property called as row span. Okay, so I'm going to give that row span here. Okay, just give row span property on the TD. Okay, on whatever data we are creating. Okay, I'm just giving row span equals 2. Save this. This name will be repeated for the next row also. So you don't need to give this data. Okay, for the second thing, you don't need to give the data because we are going to merge it, right? So now you can see both the rows are merged and it is having the same value. Suppose if you give that row, if you give that data, if you give that TD again, see what's happening. It's going to it is going to take the next thing as a new column and it will just shift one columns to the right. So if you're merging, make sure only one is enough. Okay. And similarly, you can do it for columns. So if I want these two columns as the same value. Okay, let us say email and contact. I don't have a phone number. Both the things I want to contact through email only. You can do a call span. Okay, I'll just undo this. I'll remove this row span. Now, what are the two columns I want to merge? This John and this John and this number, right? So I don't want to have this data, the second one. Okay, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to give a call span here and give 2. Save it, go back and see. Now you can see email and contact both are merged and you're having a single data. Is that clear? And nested tables, coming back to nested tables, is just creating another table within your TD. I think Uday has asked it. So let us say you have this John @gmail.com. Okay. And let me put a phone number here. I'm just giving a TD. Okay. I'll give XXX. Okay. Now I want to have a table in this place. Okay. Let us say instead of John @gmail.com, I want another table. You can create it within this TD. Okay, let us say you're going to create table. Okay, you can have a TR here. Okay, you say that you have a phone number. Okay, let us say you have 2 phone numbers. Okay, one phone number is 123, some data. Okay, and in the next row also you're having another phone number. Okay, you can give some other data, some data here. Save this. Now you can see another table is created within that email. Right? So if you want to see, like you want to have the borders, you can give borders to this table as well. So border equals, you can give 1. Save it. Can you see, like you have created a table inside another table? Uday, is your doubt clarified? Just create a table wherever you want, just create it within the TD. Instead of creating a data, you're going to create your TD now. Okay, guys, clear with these 3 things. What is row span, call span, and your nested tables? Can we insert images in a table? You try it. Okay, I'm trying everything for you, but I suggest you, whatever doubts you get, you just try it once. Okay, you can. Okay, but try it. Okay, if I show you, then there is much less scope for you all, right? You can try all the weird things. Get back to me if it's not working. Okay, that is going to be the task for you today. Okay, you can try all the possibilities, try it and get back. If it's not working, I'll tell you. If it's not working, I'll tell you what is the other possibility, right? But when you want to create anything inside a table, please make sure you create it with the TD. Don't create with your TR or T body or TH somewhere else. Okay, the content part. Where is the content? The content lies within the TD only, right? So make sure you create it within the TD tab, whatsoever you want to create. Right, so I think that's from my side. I think Maruf, you can share your screen.
I am sharing.
Yeah. I'll just stop my screen sharing.
Okay, just a minute.
Yeah. I know that I get confused while alignment of table. Yeah, tables are really confusing there. Like previously we were styling with tables, right? You want to align your contents. That time mostly you'll be using nested tables. It will be difficult for you.
And send me a link, please.
Maruf, you're not having the access, like you can click on share screen option in your Zoom.
Just
Have you
clicking.
logged in through your system or you have logged in through your mobile?
Okay, and mobile, ma'am.
Okay, then you cannot share your system. Like if you joined it through your system, you can share your screen.
Just wait a minute.
Yeah.
Ma'am, show me on lunch meeting.
What, Maruf? I didn't get you. So can we do one thing? When you're joining tomorrow, please join through your system so that you can
Okay.
share your screen and we'll sort it out. Okay, because if you're from mobile, showing your screen from your laptop, it will be difficult. We cannot troubleshoot it. So please make sure you log in through your system tomorrow so that we will clarify.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
join हो गया.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
But just a minute. Laptop.
You're joining now?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so make sure you join in before 4
This meeting
o'clock
is being
because
recorded.
you have a session by 4:10 again. So make sure you can do it by 5 minutes or else no issues, we can do it tomorrow.
Guys, sorry to interrupt. So until the students start sharing the screen, I just want to give you guys one update. So those guys who are, actively participating on all these daily boot camps, if you need the course completion certificate, we will provide you, stating that you have attended our boot camp of 10 plus hours. And one more thing, the second update here is about recordings. So we have put up the course or the videos on this link, which I'm going to put across on the chat window. It's a free course button. You will find a free course button. Just click on this and you get the access to this. Okay. And one more thing, since we want to make it more interactive, we have also put some quiz there. Okay. So this will be evaluated. That means those are performing well, they get the course completion certificate. So take some time to complete the quiz related to HTML. So you just have to first click on this. There is a button called free button, just sign in. It's a free course. And then you can watch the videos and whatever quiz that trainer is gonna post or whatever script that you guys were asking, everything will be put up on this page itself. Okay, so I'll just show you randomly. So this is one of the quiz which is been getting updated in the backend. So you should, attempt this and am I audible? Guys, I'm audible.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, sorry for that. So as I was telling, try to attempt these questions and whatever doubts you have, you clear it in the next session. So first 15 minutes is for doubt clearing session. And then at the end also you have 15 more minutes or 20 minutes where you can ask all your doubts. Okay. So depending on the performance is how we will, start sending the job opportunities. There are people who are looking for job as well, right? So you should know one of our TL or email ID and start sending your resume. And depending upon your performance, we will start pushing or giving you the job calls. So we want your active participation. That is what we are expecting. So not that you just come in with mobile access and just spend some time and go uh, with nothing from us. So prepare your resume, send to this email ID, and we will evaluate who is the active participant, who has done or watched all the classes, and who has attempted the quiz and what is their score. And those who are outstanding, we will give those people good quality job calls. Those who are in the second bracket, you will expect some uh, job calls with lesser package and so on. So we are going to classify the groups in three categories: outstanding, average, and below performance. Okay. So show your interest and focus level. That's what this boot camp is organized for. So any question you can let me know. If you have any issues with signing in that course, you can also drop email. We will assign you the course in the back end itself. So this is our email ID where you need to reach us for any technical concern, or you can also send your resume if you are looking for a job or if you want to switch your job. All right, thank you guys. So in another few minutes, we should have our second session getting started. But if you have any doubts to the full stack trainer, please take this opportunity to ask your doubts. Okay.
So is it all clear, guys? Any doubts you have?
And this resume this email ID.
Yeah, Maruf, you have to send this, okay? So we will check your resume and we will guide you on what has to be fixed, and we will update you over on the email itself.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
So, all right, guys. In Sagar, I think everything is fine with our students, and I think I'll wind up for today and meet in tomorrow's session.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you. All right, guys. So you guys can have 5 to 10 minutes of break, and once you guys come back, the soft skill training will be starting up. Okay, so I'll just place one timer here. We will catch up at 4:10. So take 10 minutes of break and come back with a with a good focus level. Thank you.